la. I just want you to be loved. Oh, oh.
Hey, it's Eddie Muentes. You're watching Hit Records Nightlife video, and in the house today, Matt White. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Well, how did this all begin to be? I understand you were formerly a New Yorker?
I'm a New Yorker by way of New Jersey, but I went to high school here. And I've been running around the streets since I was a kid, so absolutely.
When did you feel that this is what I wanted?
I was definitely a kid. I went to Manhattan School of Music up on 125th Street, and my whole family's musical and all New Yorkers, so everyone's teachers and whatnot. So I always knew sort of as a kid I wanted to do it.
All right, so it's in the blood, okay.
It's in the blood, exactly.
The Shrek soundtrack.
Right.
How did that all come about?
That came about because I saw, I was kind of snooping around and being nosy and being, doing my investigative work, and I'd seen my my song on a list of a bunch of songs. So I ended up sending a bunch of songs to be on the Shrek soundtrack.
Well, how did they know about you?
They didn't know about me. They had me on a list of 100 songs. I was like the nothing artist compared to there were a number of huge, massive songs on there. But so I had dressed up as Shrek when I was a sophomore at University of Wisconsin, and sent the picture out to every person who was scoring the film and all the producers and everything like that. And I think that that got me the part.
Really?
Yeah,
wow,
it was awesome.
That's not easy, huh?
It wasn't that easy. It was risky in the sense that that they could have been this kid's crazy. Let's call security and get him out of the building. But no, it worked out well, and that was a huge that sort of started everything with that song, which was great.
Okay, tell us what to expect on the new album.
The new album is called It's the Good Crazy, and it's very piano driven. I'm a piano player. I went to school for piano my whole life. So it's much more piano driven. It's much more organic sounding. We cut everything to tape up in Woodstock at this church, which was unbelievable. And we're just starting to get it going, and things are happening with it. And I'm on tour nonstop, which is great. And if anyone sees the McRib commercial.
And love, such a silly game we play. Oh, like a summer's day in May. What is love? What is love? I just want you to be loved. Oh, oh.
That's my song, and that's me biting into it on the 18th second. So that was very cool to be, part of McDonald's, and so the record is definitely it's a little bit darker than the first one. It's not so perfectly cut and neat. The records I loved were always had mistakes, like Van Morrison and Beatles and Dylan. Everything's out of tune and out of time. But my first record, I didn't really have too much of a choice where how I recorded it was sort of like up in their they made the sort of decision.
So did you ever decide at one point after it was done to go back and revisit those tracks?
I might. I'm thinking about it. The record, it took 5 years to get out one record, so it was done, but then it was redone, and so that was sort of we would get things going, and so that for that record, it's like when you have the music, you got to just put it out there and let it grow. Everything starts out small. It's a snowball effect, and you just it's a marathon. You don't want to burn out the first 6 miles or 6 rounds. So when compared to boxing,
Save some
energy. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that all those records, everything was cut live, and live is definitely where you get the spontaneous things. And we're human beings. We respond to mistakes, and people make mistakes. So I think that was a huge thing,
So you have any favorite songs in the track that you personally say, wow, this is my favorite of all of them?
I really like the single. That's the one that I'm playing here, and a lot of the piano ones. Like there's a song called "Therapy," which is sort of very New York and very about people trying to get married. All you hear when you're if you grow up here is, and when are you gonna get married? Let me settle. You're gonna settle down. I have a girl for you. My mom is setting me up. So it's like that kind of thing. So it's sort of like a conversation with a therapist. It's basically what it's about. And it's very New York, and it's sort of funny. So.
I think that also worked for LA as well.
LA as well. I guess anywhere, but it's like especially New York. It's definitely if you're single and you're in your late 20s or whatever, people are constantly trying to set you up. So
Matt, this is what we need: feel good music.
feel good music.
You know what I call this? I call this crave music. You know, I call it crave music because the kind of music you want to hear on your iPod, you want to have in your car stereo, your home stereo, the kind you like to gift with the holidays coming up. This is definitely music you want to gift,
Right.
and the kind you want to save in plastic because you know it's a classic. Do we have a copy of it? Yeah, here it. The latest Matt White. Look at those graphics, man. That's Matt right there.
All right.
Very, very cool. So, what do you prefer? What instrument do you prefer to use?
I prefer pianos. I'm more of a piano, but you can't take a piano everywhere. So that's sort of why I picked up guitar. But I'm definitely, I studied piano my whole life, so I'm definitely a piano player.
Well, so if you were to go on, well, you're on tour now, right?
I'm on tour right now, yeah.
So, what does the tour dates look like?
I think tomorrow I'm in Pennsylvania, and then I'm kind of on tour till middle of December, sort of, or like the first week of December, or something like that.
If there was any big group out there that you would like to team up with, who would that be?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm really into Van Morrison right now. Just the Astral Weeks and those early records that are just so simple, and you can hear the guttural and the pain. One thing that I realized about like all these successful musicians early on was that they're the most insecure. They think everything they do is terrible, and that's when you know you're sort of on the right track. So you can hear that, those old records, even like the Stones. I mean, maybe the Stones didn't think that, but like you can hear the pitchiness and the intensity of Mick Jagger's vocal in those early records. It's like, I don't know. I would take that over any day. Any modern recording like Zeppelin or Dylan or Simon and Garfunkel than any modern recording.
Yeah, I kind of hear that in your style as well.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Right.
Is that you do that intentionally,
Well,
or just
some of it? Yeah, I mean, we cut a lot of it to tape, so there was like definitely there was no real digital production after it. Some of the stuff we did like a combination of the two, just because you have to get it to a certain point to get it radio ready, and you have to make it the volume louder, etc.
You were doing the McDonald's commercial? How did that all come about?
That came about, it was a year, we shot it like 2 years ago. It was for my last record, Best Days, and we filmed it a year and a half ago, and we didn't really hear anything. And then all of a sudden, like a week and a half ago, it was everywhere.
I mean, did you have it on YouTube or somebody's shelf? Or
Someone sent the video to me on YouTube, but we didn't think it was going to air. I think it went for a small run like a year ago, but only in a couple of markets. Now it's everywhere. It's in the World Series, and it's a McRib revolution. And it's definitely like you can feel like at the concerts people are shouting it out, and you can definitely feel there's like this undercurrent, like Twilight kind of mysticism about the McRib. Like what is the meat? What is all this? And it's people love it and some people don't love it, but more people love it than not. So.
Well, whether they talk good about it or bad about it, they're talking about
They're
it.
talking about it. It's like top trending on Twitter. I don't even know what that means, but that's what I heard.
It means you're the McMatt.
I like that. That was good.
Before we go,
Yeah.
can you do something live for our viewers right here on Hit Records Nightlife Video?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Falling in love with my best friend.
It's so good what we got. You and me, we laugh a lot. We're just friends, simple as that. I don't want it to end, but I'm falling in love with the best friend I got. They say you don't really want to fall in love. You don't really want to mess this up. You don't really want to fall in love. 'Cause falling in love just breaks your heart. Hey, hey. If we kiss, if we touch, all of this could get rough. Ain't They say you don't really wanna fall in love. You don't really wanna mess this up. You don't really wanna fall in love, 'cause falling in love just breaks your heart. They say you don't really wanna fall in love. You don't really wanna mess this up. You don't really wanna fall in love, 'cause falling in love just breaks your heart.